We shoot our way through, that tunnel leads to the old territories.
My, Daddy. I think Robert gave you some extra vinegar back there. Maybe took away some sense, too.
Disguises.
Why, it's handiwork.
How can you tell?
Straight up Keelan
Ouch.
couldn't hold his interest. Like he wasn't living up to the full measure of his calling. So he worked to get more creative. Fuck me, that's Teddy Flood.
Who?
You made a mistake, soldier. But it's not too late for you to keep walking.
It's a sumbitch ambushed our outpost at Escalante.
You know a damn thing about what went down in Escalante.
I know White didn't kill all those men by himself. And I know a thing or two about what's going down right now.
Weren't expecting that. I didn't think the man in black would get knocked out.
How did you know?
Well, it's my business to read desires and to satiate them. I'm
This guy is
Lee,
such a douche.
Lee Sizemore, head of narrative.
All these fantasies come
Actually, I
from
wouldn't be
your
surprised if
twisted
he's the
little
one who
mind,
was
huh?
Good ones do.
leaking out information.
The robots can go off script?
Just little gestures. And supposedly it makes the things more lifelike, but really, it's just a vanity project from the megalomaniac who started this place. And frankly, I don't know why the suits at Delos put up with him.
She just trying to get information out of him. Seems that way.
Sorry.
I'm close to finding our saboteur. That tracking data you gave me, it's time-stamped. But once I cross-reference it with sat tracking, we're gonna figure out who programmed him to try to smuggle out our data.
Excellent. Elsie, Teresa's just trying to do her job.
Maybe she should try harder. Sure seems like there's a lot of shit slipping through the cracks.
It's got to be Teresa or the British guy. I think it's one of those two that are leaking information or planted that satellite thing. So they must have those lifts that go up like in loads of different places. Who's that? Is that Arnold? The boy.
Are you Arnold?
It is Arnold.
Who's Arnold?
Okay, maybe not.
Who the hell are you? Boy, is this some friend of yours? But you're trespassing. Freeze motor functions.
Uh-oh.
Freeze all motor functions.
Don't hurt him! He's just lost.
Well, he can be lost on someone else's property, can't you?
That's enough. As you were.
I've got a feeling it's Ford's family, and that's Ford when he was younger.
They don't respond to voice commands.
They do respond to mine.
These are first generation.
Mm-hmm. Come here, boy. Turn the other cheek. See what our new designs gained in efficiency, they lost in grace.
That is really cool
How are
and
they
really
still operating
freaky at
after
the same
all this
time.
I maintained them myself. I told him of a holiday my family had taken once out in the seaside at Pendine in Cornwall. My brother and I roamed the countryside.
It's him and his family. I thought so.
It's my only happy memory of my childhood. Arnold built them as a gift. He said the great artists always hid themselves in their work. Of course, Arnold's versions flattered the originals. I made some adjustments over the years. gave my father in particular a few of his original characteristics. I'm sure you can indulge me in a little connection with my past. If you could only see your son again, Bernard.
Low
Wouldn't
blow.
you want it?
I think I should be getting back.
So I'm guessing he lets that younger version of himself just wander around the park willy-nilly, but then he said to Bernard there that he keeps track of where they go.
Fuck that teetotally Danish bitch!
Are you filing
I know
a
I said he's a
complaint,
douche,
Mr.
but
Sizemore?
that's pretty funny.
I am declaring that this park is my stage, and I shall do with it what I please.
Well, I suppose now is as good a time as any. Lee Sizemore, this is Charlotte Hale, the executive director of our board. She's here on behalf of Delos to oversee certain transitions in our administration.
Whoops. That's the maze symbol. Teddy was a part of it.
You're right. I am a killer.
Holy shit. Why would you run at the guy with a big machine gun? Oh well, they learnt the hard way. So he's not all goody two shoes. He was killing the soldiers with Wyatt.
Putter. The voices our hosts have been hearing, I think someone's been broadcasting to them.
We abandoned that system decades ago.
Yeah, well, there's still relays out there in the park, and it looks like someone turned one on.
Where?
An abandoned theater in Sector 3. Gonna go find the transmitter and figure out who else accessed it. This is so fucked.
You alone?
Yeah, I'll keep you posted.
So the voices are being transmitted to him.
Yes. Let's see what we can get out of you. Access previous users.
Teresa. It cuts to Teresa, the very next scene. It's planting that it is her, but whether that's just like a red herring.
Hit pay dirt. I found the person who was smuggling out our data.
Teresa.
It was Teresa Bernard. But she's not our only problem. There's something much bigger going on here.
I'm gonna have to call you back.
I'd like to make some changes.
We can't do that. You'd need a behavior login. And even then, any changes we make would just get auto-flagged, so.
That's not what your friend here tells me. He says you can do exactly that. Activate hosts, and then erase their memory. All without anyone knowing. Took me all of 5 minutes to understand why.
These modifications, they are serious. Changing loops, breaking loops. Some of these changes are to their prime directives, Bernard. They could lie to us. Maybe even hurt us or the guests.
Who issued the modifications?
I don't know. The best I could tell, Arnold.
He's dead.
Yeah, well, he's a pretty fucking prolific coder for a dead guy.
So what if Arnold transferred his consciousness to a big AI unit? So he's physically dead, but his brain
want you to
isn't.
worry about.
Oh, somebody's in there with her, aren't they? Shit, run!
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Bulk apperception. Let's take
20.
that all the way to the top. Please.
Why are they doing it? Why don't they just report her? Maybe he does feel sorry for her, but that other guy. There's no going back.
Dear boys.
That wasn't a smart
We're going
move.
to have some fun, aren't we?
There we have it, season 1 episode 6 of Westworld, and that was quite an interesting episode. I was quite shocked we didn't have any William or Dolores, but I guess they did that so we could focus more on Maeve and see where her story went, and we could also discover the whole thing about the satellite bug, the thing that was transmitting data, and they explained that quite well, even though there's a bit of mystery still to it. So let's start off with Maeve. So, like you guys predicted in the comments, and you were correct in saying that Felix would help Maeve, and yeah, things have gone a bit crazy on that end. She has now been able to talk Felix and his friend, I use friend lightly, but she's managed to talk him into turning her intellect or intelligence up to like 20 or whatever it was, whatever the max setting was. Why they've done that, or why she wants, well, I know why she wants them to do it, so she can try and get herself out of the situation of Westworld. The only question is, will she just get herself out of Westworld, or will she go back into Westworld and then try and maybe make the rest of the AI wary of their surroundings and what's going on, and the fact they're living in this fake world and it's all just a lie? We'll soon find out whether she's selfless or whether she's selfish. It'll be interesting to see where they go with that. But yeah, I'm wondering if she'll keep it secret for long, or she'll actually go on a rampage, or maybe she'll go head to head with Ford. We'll have to wait and see. It'll be interesting to see though. Next up we had Teresa, and we learnt that she was in fact the source of the leak. And I don't know why, but halfway through the episode I started to suspect it was her. I don't know if it was just because of the way the TV show is edited or what, but yeah, certain shots and the way they were cut made me think they were focusing the blame on her and certain things people were saying, so I guess most of you guessed that as well. But yeah, why she's like leaking information I don't know, or if she is, that is. Maybe she's a relative of Arnold, clutching at straws, but I suppose it's a good theory, as good as any at the moment. Maybe she's trying to bring him down, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess. I wonder if Bernard will try and protect her though, because he's had that relationship with her. Will he try and protect her from the blame, or try and shield her from Ford? Because if Ford found out, he'd probably go berserk at her and she'll get fired, etc. Maybe he wants her to keep her job so she will still be around and he could still be with her, because he was obviously heartbroken when she said that she could no longer be with him. In this episode also, there seemed to be a lot of clues saying that Arnold was still alive, like certain lines of dialogue between characters and clues. I did say in the episode, maybe Arnold was killed, but maybe because he was working on AI brains and, you know, the way AI minds function, maybe he was able to upload his own consciousness to like a computer or something, and maybe he is still alive in the sense that his brain, his consciousness is still alive, but his body is dead. Speaking of that as well, the man in black was having a conversation with Teddy on the horse, and Teddy was explaining what the maze was, or what the myth was, and it was about a man that kept dying or something, and he eventually built a house in the middle of a maze. So I don't know if that's meant to be Arnold. Maybe like Arnold was killed, like we say, and then he, every time Ford kills him, he uploads his consciousness somewhere else, so he is technically still alive in a sense, and now he's hid himself in a maze, and that's why everybody's trying to find him, because they want to kill him again. They want to finally get rid of him, even though it is like a bit of a wild theory. Like I say, it would explain why he still seems to have a presence. Even though he was a creator, he seems to be omnipresent, and people are hearing his voice, etc., through this broadcast frequency that is going to the old hosts, or maybe someone's doing it on his behalf. Like I say, maybe Teresa is a relative and she's broadcasting his voice to him. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Also this episode we learnt that Ford has got his family alive in a sense, and himself as a younger form. Bernard stumbled upon him in a house, and apparently they can't be controlled, obviously by him, but only by Ford. He's the only one that can control them. And apparently Arnold made them as a gift to Ford when they created the park, and he's held on to them. So yeah, it makes me wonder though, like that young boy that just seems to appear everywhere, like when the man in black cut that other guy's throat and drained his blood, he just suddenly appeared. So maybe he's like Ford's spy in a way. Maybe he just wanders the Westworld and feeds Ford information about what's going on and what these people are doing just to track them. But then again, he could probably do that with cameras, etc., because they seem to have cameras everywhere in Westworld. Beyond Maeve, Teresa, and the Bug and Ford's family, the only other real thing we learned this episode was that Teddy also killed the Union soldiers along with Wyatt. I'm not sure if we learned that before when the backstory was given before. I could have sworn it was only Wyatt that turned on the soldiers and then Teddy went after him. I'll have to go back and watch that episode to find out what he actually said. But yeah, we now know Teddy is not all innocent and perfect like he's been portrayed in previous episodes, and he's got a dark past. But the thing that's bothering me is what Wyatt's story is, or what he is to the big picture, what he is to the whole show. Because at the moment he just seems like some throwaway character. I remember in the conversation between the Man in Black and Ford's, the Man in Black said, or asked Ford rather, whether Wyatt was just another man, like another trophy for people to kill in Westworld, or whether he was a worthy competitor to face the Man in Black, whatever he meant by that, whether he meant he's protecting the maze, whatever that may be. I really have no clue. I wish I knew more about where this storyline with Wyatt is going, because it just seems separate from the rest of the stuff that's going on at the minute. But I'm sure further down the line more will be explained to us. The final thing I want to touch on is the fact that there are still these old AI in the park. There was at one point, there was a list I think Bernard brought up when he was checking for old, sorry I say AI, I mean hosts. There was old hosts and Dolores was on the list that he was looking through, but I didn't manage, I weren't quick enough to look at the other people on the list. It did show 4 or 5, but there's probably more. I might go back and look at that in case they're characters later on in the show. And apparently these are the hosts Arnold can control, these older versions. And that's done through this broadcast they send into their brains, which then gives them a voice inside their head, and then they're listening to the voice and carrying on with what it says to do. So that must be Arnold's into the park. That's his way of like dabbling in affairs. But I really want to see where they go with that, and if like more of these old AI turn up, and also if it's only old AI that Arnold can control, is it possible that Arnold could eventually, I'm saying Arnold as well, like I know it's him, but it's Arnold's voice, so I'll refer to it as Arnold for now. But it'd be interesting to see whether Arnold can get into the heads of Ford's family and the younger version of Ford, and eventually dabble in Ford's affairs, like get inside Ford's head in some way or other, like replay an old scene from his past or something and try and mess him up mentally, even though he has got a bit of a god complex already. But yeah, it's interesting. And that's it. Not a lot going on in this episode, just an explanation to the bug from last episode. Maeve progressed a little bit with her story, and with the fact that she actually is super intelligent now, so good things or possibly bad things are going to come out of that. And we learned a bit more about Teddy's past and the fact that he also killed those Union soldiers, and he's not all good, he's not Mr. Goody Two Shoes. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, Ford's family is still alive and living. Well, they're not living, they're hosts. Yeah, so his family is still alive, and bad things might happen there. We'll have to wait and see. But good episode, not my most favourite, but it had a lot of explaining in it, and I enjoyed it. So until next time, thanks for watching guys. Feel free to comment below, like the video, and yeah, until next time, see you later. Bye bye.